This morning, the director of a popular after-school program in Madison is facing charges of multiple counts of possessing child pornography. What this means ahead of the new school year.
And it's time to pack it up, pack it in. Badger football season is about to begin. We're still a week away from jumping around here at Camp Randall, but now is the perfect time to get some preseason game day predictions.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us on Friday, August 30th. Leah Linscheid is off for the next week and a half, so we've got Keely Arthur with us.
Good to be here.
Yes, and I'm kind of doing the old casual Friday thing. I was emceeing an event late last night and kind of going into the long weekend, and we have one of our Facebook fans, Katie's, wondering what socks that I'm rocking this morning.
Yes.
I don't know if
these
Sue
are very casual.
Can take a look at that. They're my donut socks.
Your socks, and look at that flexibility.
Look at that. It's all that yoga. It's all that yoga.
It is all that yoga.
But no, they're my favorite socks. I mean, we're going into a holiday weekend, and it's really looking like it's going to be a good one. Other than maybe some showers tomorrow, Hattie?
A few showers tomorrow, yeah. It won't be a complete washout, but tomorrow will be a little cooler. Today, though, if you're starting early, what a great start to the day. Take a live look from the WISC-TV Skycam. We have just a few high-level clouds in the area, making for a beautiful sunrise this morning. Take a look at our temperatures. We're down 1 degree here in Madison, 53. In the Dells, though, a little chilly there, 49 degrees. Black River Falls is at 38. Temperatures will climb nicely today, though. Low dew points, light northerly winds, and high temperatures in the mid-70s. Just a picture-perfect day today. Let's take a look at traffic. We'll see if traffic is just as nice. Not too many delays right now. Still a little early for those volume delays, but I would imagine with the holiday weekend on us, we are going to see pretty busy roads, especially later today. Right now, though, no issues to report in and around Dane County.
Yeah, one of the biggest travel weekends of the summer this weekend, so I'm sure a lot will be hitting the road today.
Yeah, kind of the unofficial end to summer, unfortunately.
Womp womp, I know. It's like, it feels like Memorial Day was just yesterday.
It really does.
All right, Hattie, we'll see you in just a few.
Sounds good.
Well, the executive director of a popular after-school program in Madison is on leave this morning.
The decision came after Madison schools learned he is facing charges on multiple counts of possessing child pornography. 44-year-old Jacob Tissue was booked into the Dane County Jail last night. A spokesperson for the Madison Metropolitan School District said they put Tissue on leave as soon as they learned about the arrest. The district released a statement saying, quote, "As educators, we take the well-being and safety of our students as priority number one." District officials say the news was difficult for them to grasp, and they'll continue to work with law enforcement and take action based on the criminal process. Tissue will remain on leave until the outcome. In the meantime, Janet Dyer will take over as acting MSCR director. MSCR has served as the public recreation provider for Madison since 1926 and works with the school district for a variety of programs and services for all ages. McFarland police are asking anyone with information related to this case to contact them, and we have everything you need to know on the Channel 3000 mobile app.
A man in Lake Delton is facing multiple charges this morning, including abducting a child. Lake Delton police arrested 22-year-old James Sellers yesterday following months of investigating. Sellers allegedly broke into a home in his neighborhood and took a 2-year-old from her bedroom. Police say Sellers left the child outside of the home and then took off. The motive remains unclear. Lake Delton police say there are about 300 homes in that neighborhood. They knocked on each door to conduct interviews.
We got kind of worried about it. We kind of speak. We have a little talk with our sons, just kind of stay on the house. We kind of lock the house most of the time. And yeah, we're keeping a really close eye on them.
Officials say that residents should always take the safety precaution of locking their doors, but shouldn't be too worried. The Lake Delton police chief says a case like this one would normally take a year or longer to solve, but because of knocking on doors and quick crime lab results, they were able to make an arrest in only a few months.
More local news now. The McFarland teacher arrested earlier this week won't be allowed back into the village for at least 4 weeks. In court yesterday, Andrew Meeks wasn't formally charged, but a judge did order him to be under GPS monitoring to ensure he doesn't return to McFarland. Meeks was arrested Tuesday on tentative charges of child enticement and causing mental harm to a child. The judge gave the prosecution 4 weeks to file a criminal complaint. He'll be back in court September 26th.
Public Health Madison and the Sunshine Place are teaming up to train locals on how to fight the opioid epidemic. They had their first training yesterday. Now, we weren't allowed to film the training for privacy reasons, but we're shown how you can save someone's life in just a couple of minutes with the right tools. Officials tell us the number of overdose deaths can be drastically reduced if more people were familiar with how to spot an overdose and how to administer Narcan.
I think at times it's sad that everybody needs to know, but at the same time, I think that's what's going to save lives.
Information on how to sign up for the free public training and how to get Narcan can be found on our website.
State health officials say THC vaping products were involved in most cases where people developed severe lung diseases after vaping. Of the 27 people DHS interviewed, nearly 90% reported they had used vaping devices to inhale THC before they got sick. But health officials say they're still investigating all possible causes of the illness.
After historic flooding last year in Sauk County, a new legislative effort is aiming to help communities prepare for such disasters. A new bill from Senator Howard McCline and Representative Tony Kurtz will try to make it easier and faster to apply for disaster assistance from the federal agency FEMA. It would require all cities to sign up for a program that helps train them to get money from the agency. Many of the residents in Reedsburg say they just want a fighting chance.
You know, it'd be nice if they could give every homeowner over here a chance. Fortunate we're able to live in our house, unlike some of the residents in Reedsburg.
Communities like Reedsburg say they are still waiting on tens of thousands of dollars in federal assistance. The bill has been formally introduced and has bipartisan support.
Right now, people in Florida are bracing for possible flooding as Hurricane Dorian is expected to make landfall on Monday as a powerful Category 4 hurricane. This is a live look at Cocoa Beach, Florida this morning. The governors of both Florida and Georgia have declared a state of emergency, allowing them to bring in more fuel and call up the National Guard if needed. Red Cross volunteers from Wisconsin will be helping out, running shelters and making meals for those who will be displaced by the hurricane.
It's an exciting day. The Badgers kick off the 2019 season against South Florida tonight.
Now, the game may be in Tampa, but there are plenty of fans right here in the Madison area excited for the big game and plenty of ways to watch around town. Christina Laurie joins us live from Camp Randall this morning. Christina, hello.
Good morning, Josh and Keely. It's the day Badger fans have been waiting for since the Badgers ended their season last December with a win at the Pinstripe Bowl. But this year they're hoping to make an even better bowl. And to get some preseason predictions, we brought out Justin Doherty from the UW Athletic Department. Thanks for talking to us this morning. So 8-5 finished last season. Where will the boys stand this year?
I think 13-0, right? No, I mean, this is that time of year where we're just excited to have the start of the season tonight down in South Florida in Tampa. It's quiet in here right now, as we know, but next week, this time next Saturday, it'll be rocking in here. And so it's the most exciting time of the year for us in the athletic department.
It always is. And what are ticket sales like this year?
Good. We had, we're always in the 90% somewhere in terms of season ticket renewals, and we were again this year, and it's just a testament to the generations of fans here that just love Badger football.
And for Badger fans at home checking their calendars, what will be some of the best games to come out here to Camp Randall? I know every game is great, but any ones that stick out to you?
You know what? We only get to do this 7 times in the fall, so each one of those is a special experience for people. We do have a great home schedule. We've got some of the larger brand names that our fans are familiar with in Michigan and Northwestern and Iowa and so on. So it's going to be a fun season.
Luckily, no Illinois on your turf this year. We'll spare you that loss, right? We'll pretend. Okay. Coming up at 6:30, we're going to be talking to Justin again, and we're going to get some bowl predictions from him where he thinks the Badgers will finish. If they really finish 13-0, they're going all the way to the top, Keely and Josh.
All right, Christina Laurie live from a very quiet Camp Randall this morning. Christina, thank you.
Well, it is the final weekend before a lot of kids in southern Wisconsin are back in the classroom, which means a lot of students will be walking or biking to class, adding a few more potential hazards for drivers. To help, the City of Madison Police Department is tweeting #back-to-school safety tips for drivers, bikers, and pedestrians. One of the department's traffic crash investigators, Samuel Breyer, says even if you have the right of way, it's important to make sure you're visible.
The injuries, we're talking about a vehicle versus a person, can be really catastrophic. And these injuries, especially in most of the cases I'm handling right now, are life-altering.
He says that especially with kids, it can be hard to tell how close cars are when you're crossing the street. A lot of schools have nearby crosswalks that flash lights to warn drivers of pedestrians, but it is still important to make sure you're following the golden rule of looking both ways.
The Rock County Sheriff's Office also sharing some reminders. They want you to know that you have to stop at least 20 feet away when a school bus is flashing red lights. That goes for all lanes of traffic unless it's a highway with a center median. Cars also have to stay stopped until the bus turns off its red lights and starts moving. The Sheriff's Office says they'll be out strictly enforcing this once the school year starts. This all comes after stopping for school buses was a big problem in Beloit last school year. The Beloit Turner School District installed cameras on their buses during spring break after Town of Beloit police handed out multiple tickets during a week-long span where officers rode along on the buses. The Beloit Turner School District said they documented more than 90 instances where cars illegally passed buses in the month after a hit-and-run crash involving a school bus in February.
Well, coming up, summer may be coming to a close, but there's plenty of movies hitting the box office this weekend. Will Loper is back in studio to preview the thriller Don't Let Go.
That's coming up right after the break, but first, Hattie's got the latest update to your holiday weekend forecast. You're watching News 3 Now this morning. We thank you for that, and we will be right back.
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio. A nice, comfortable start again. Temperatures have been dropping into the 50s overnight this week, and it feels pretty good in the mornings. Lots of sunshine early today, but we're not going to be as warm as we were yesterday. I showed you the high temperatures yesterday so you can have a little perspective today. Yesterday, highs were in the low to mid 80s. Today, we're going to be about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than that, with highs in the mid 70s. Here's a look at the precipitation over the last 24 hours. The forecast called for some showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon yesterday, but they just did not materialize. We saw some clouds and a few sprinkles, but that is it. Southern Wisconsin missed out on precipitation yesterday. And this morning, things are pretty quiet around here. There still is a pretty large cluster of showers and thunderstorms moving through Missouri and Arkansas this morning. You can see the movement on those storms, though, is away from us. They'll follow the fronts and move away from southern Wisconsin today. High pressure is building in from the west, and that's going to give us pretty quiet conditions. Now, there is quite a contrast in temperatures. About 10 degrees between Des Moines and Madison. Gets even cooler to the north. The Northwoods this morning are in the 40s. Take a look at temperatures here in southern Wisconsin. We're at 53 here in Madison, but it has dropped to 49 in the Dells and 47 in Camp Douglas. Black River Falls is typically one of the colder spots, and they're down in the upper 30s this morning. Most of our viewing area, though, is still at least in the 50s. Dew points, though, are in the 40s. The air is very dry, and it's going to be a beautiful day with dew points staying in the 50s and upper 40s. So looking good humidity-wise today. Temperatures are going to climb through the 60s this morning. We'll have lots of sunshine and just a light northerly wind. So unlike the last couple of days where winds have been pretty strong, today they won't be. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s by lunchtime, climbing to highs in the low to mid 70s this afternoon. Just a great start to the upcoming extended holiday weekend. Maybe a few high-level clouds here and there, but nothing to bother us too much today. Skies stay mostly clear through the evening as temperatures drop back into the lower 60s by 10. Here's a look at your extended forecast then. Kind of a cool start to the weekend on Saturday. A lot of clouds in the area. Slight chance for some showers, especially south of Madison during the afternoon and into Saturday night. Otherwise, we'll clear out on Sunday, and that'll set us up for a nice second half of the weekend with highs back in the low 80s on Labor Day Monday. Here's a look at your traffic maps now. We'll send it over to Josh Tim for all the details. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, it's another quiet start on the Beltline this morning, moving well so far in both directions for the early commuters. Other roads here in Dane County not looking too bad either, just a few of the usual brake lights between Highway PD and the Beltline ramps. No delays downtown around campus, but I would plan on things getting busier over the next couple of hours.
You know,
and other main routes heading into Madison, they're moving along at the usual speeds with no crashes or delays. Your First Alert Traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Josh and Hattie, thank you both so much. This week in theaters is the release of a new time travel thriller.
The movie is Don't Let Go, and here with the preview is our film critic, Will Loper. Good morning, Will.
Good morning, guys. Yes, this weekend it's the Lake House meets Minority Report as a man tries to solve a murder from 2 weeks earlier via phone calls from a past person. If you think that sounds complicated, you're not alone, but maybe this will help.
I don't understand.
There's a crime that in your time hasn't yet happened. Your dad's gonna die. Your mom's gonna die. And so are you. But as long as you're alive, you can change things.
It's a race against time as David Oyelowo must figure out the criminals behind his niece's death and undo what's been done.
2 days to live, what's that? Just reconstructing the timeline.
Who did it?
We don't know that yet.
There's people here. There's a white car.
Ashley, turn around and go.
Don't Let Go is rated R.
Jack, tell me what's going on. I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna let that happen.
It looks pretty intense.
Very intense, yeah. I'm kind of a sucker for these movies where there's like a time travel, sci-fi element. I mean, I love Minority Report, so this is kind of up my alley.
Will it be up other people's alley, or is it a little hard to follow?
I don't know. I mean, reviews are kind of mixed. They're kind of saying the sci-fi concept they don't quite execute well, but the performances are good. I mean, David Oyelowo, course, played Martin Luther King Jr. in Selma and was fantastic, and so I'll see anything he's in.
Yeah. I always need something that's going to keep me awake, and that looks like it's going to keep you awake.
Yeah,
so.
It looks like a lot of stuff is happening. Yeah.
Low bar.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, jeez.
All right, well, as always, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, still ahead for us. Gas prices are looking pretty good right about now for some holiday weekend travel, but one station in Wisconsin's got the best prices anyone's seen in 60 years. We'll explain how that happened coming up.
And some pleasant weather in store for the start of Labor Day weekend. Hattie is updating your Friday forecast with News 3 Now This Morning continues.
.23 on a Friday morning. Beautiful shot of the sun just coming up on this start of the Labor Day weekend. And Hattie, really not too bad out there. A little chilly.
A little cool. Yeah, I've been rocking the leg warmers.
I was going to say, yeah, we have to call you out because we're finally back to the season where Hattie's got the leg warmers.
The leg warmers on.
And she like comes in from outside and she's quick, gotta take these off.
Yeah,
she's like scrambling them.
She always takes them off so we don't have to see them, but she's been exposed. You now know what we see.
One of these days you're gonna be doing weather inside with the leg warmers on.
Yeah, why not? Well, maybe I'll wait till a little bit more into the fall season. It's still officially summer, but it does feel a little bit like fall in the morning. It's been cool. Temperatures will stay nice for the holiday weekend though, but kind of a cool thing, if you're interested in the Northern Lights, you may be able to see some this weekend.
All right.
Let's jump over here and show you that forecast for the Northern Lights. It is possible in this yellow shaded area this weekend that we may see the Northern Lights. Madison is included, and as far south as much of Illinois. More likely in that green shaded area though. So if you're headed to the north, if you have a cabin or you're going camping up in the Northwoods, northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan, Minnesota, you have a better chance of seeing the Northern Lights. Now, Saturday night or Sunday night, it's pretty hard to forecast when exactly they will occur, but those are the two nights. Conditions weather-wise here in Madison will be better for seeing those Northern Lights on Sunday. Here's a look at our forecast this morning. We start with 53 degrees, mostly clear skies. Temperatures are in the 50s, so a little cool outside. We're actually up a couple of degrees now, though, in Madison. We will continue to climb. We'll see temperatures climbing into the 70s today. Not as warm as yesterday, but very pleasant. High of 74 degrees here in Madison, Watertown, and Janesville. Temperatures will stay very comfortable again through the evening hours as well. We'll be dropping through the 60s into the 50s overnight. Here's that extended holiday weekend forecast. A little cool on Saturday with a chance for rain. Sunday and Monday, though, look nice. We'll be back to around 80 for Labor Day Monday. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Hattie. Nearly all areas of the Beaver Dam Middle School are open despite a rough incident last week. Beaver Dam School District says the only areas that won't be operational will be the gym, locker room, and library. Now, a suspected drunk driver crashed into the side of that building last Wednesday while fleeing from police. The district says they plan to have the library open shortly after the start of the school year and hopes to have the gym ready by early December. They expect the total cost of damages to be more than $500,000.
To help offset some of those costs, a Beaver Dam gas station is redesigning one of its gas pumps and giving some of September's proceeds to the middle school. Jerry's Automotive posted on Facebook saying it's donating 2 cents from every gallon pumped at Spirit Pump to Beaver Dam schools. The proceeds will go to a different school in the district each month.
And if you're filling up the tank as you head out for Labor Day weekend, it'll be cheaper this weekend than it has been in the past few years. AAA says nationally gas prices are around 25 cents lower than they were this time last year and 5 cents lower than 2 years ago. That's also true here in Madison, where a gallon is averaging about $2.51 this morning. A year ago, you were paying closer to $2.75.
So if you think that's cheap, well, one gas station in the Milwaukee area is blowing that number out of the water. A clerk at a Brookfield gas station put in the wrong number before closing for a night this week, and word spread quickly. The price mistake cost the station $3,500 after around 100 people took advantage, filling their tank with the gas costing, are you ready for this? 28 cents a gallon.
That needs to happen in Madison.
Seriously, where was I when this was happening? The Department of Energy says prices haven't been that low since the 1950s.
Oh my goodness.
I've been having my parents' SUV for the week, and I had to fill it up last night because I'm heading back to Minnesota later today. I would have loved 28 cents a gallon.
From that.
Yeah, good news there for them.
All right, well, still ahead, we've got the top 3 things you need to know this morning before you head out your door.
And also ahead, we're going to check it back in with Christina Laurie, who is live at Camp Randall, talking all things Badgers ahead of tonight's season opener. A beautiful shot there of Camp Randall this morning. And keep watching News 3 Now this morning.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, and thanks for staying with us this Friday, August 30th.
We are heading into Labor Day weekend, and Hattie will have that forecast here in just a little bit. But first, let's get to the top 3 things that you need to know on this Friday morning. First up, the executive director of MSCR is on leave this morning. 44-year-old Jacob Tissue was booked into the Dane County Jail last night and is facing multiple charges for possessing child pornography. A spokesperson for the Madison Metropolitan School District said they put Tissue on leave as soon as they learned about that arrest. Tissue will remain on leave until the outcome of that process. In the meantime, Janet Dyer will take over as the acting MSCR director.
And moving ahead, second to report, a report from the Justice Department Inspector General says former FBI Director James Comey violated FBI policies by sharing memos detailing his private conversations with President Donald Trump. Comey was investigated for memos he wrote about his interactions with the president after the 2016 election. The Justice Department will not prosecute Comey.
And rounding out the top 3 this morning, Hurricane Dorian is expected to make landfall in the U.S. on Monday as a powerful Category 4 hurricane. Forecasters say Dorian's winds could top 100 miles an hour when it comes to shore, anywhere from South Florida to the Georgia border. President Trump canceled his weekend trip to Poland ahead of Dorian's arrival.
And those are the top 3 things you need to know as you start your day. And Hattie is here with a look at our weather. Hi, Hattie.
Good morning, Keely and Josh. Yeah, we'll be keeping a close eye on Dorian this weekend, but by contrast, the weather around this part of the country, much quieter. We have a beautiful start this morning. Clear skies here in Madison. There are a few high-level clouds streaming into southern Wisconsin, especially south of Dane County. That's due to some rain that is to our south. It's not moving in our direction, though, today. Temperatures are in the 50s for the most part. 53 here in Madison, 52 in Prairie du Chien and Platteville, 51 in the Dells this morning. Temperatures will climb through the 60s, back to highs in the 70s. Unlike the last couple of days, much lighter winds expected today. Here's a look at your First Alert traffic maps this morning. So far, so good on the roads. A few delays on Verona Road as you approach the Beltline. You'll encounter a couple of brake lights there, but otherwise no major delays to report right now or accidents. Travel into Madison still going at posted speeds. And that's your First Alert traffic.
Thank you, Hattie. Well, it is the day football fans have been waiting for since the team ended their season last December with a big win at the Pinstripe Bowl.
Of course, this year the team is hoping for an even better bowl at the end of the season, and that starts with a win tonight. Even though it's a road game, there's still plenty of excitement in Madison. Christina Laurie joins us live from Camp Randall this morning with all of the action. Hi, Christina.
Wait, Josh and Keely, are you telling me there's no game here tonight? Just kidding. We knew that. Game day here, 1 week and 1 day away. But it is a Badger game day. They're down in South Florida, so we thought we'd bring out Justin Doherty from the UW Athletic Department. Thanks for staying out here with us this morning. So we kind of teased in the last half hour bowl predictions for the team. You're predicting a 13-0 finish. So what are your bowl game expectations?
I'm hoping we'll go to a bowl game. No, that's been a thing here for years and years that we've been a regular bowl bowl team, a bowl contender, and that's been part of the consistency of the program over probably 25, almost 30 years now.
A tradition of winning. That's a great thing for fans. And when fans come out here to Camp Randall 1 week from tomorrow, what can they expect new around the stadium or the area?
Well, I think not a lot physically with the stadium right now. We do have some construction and some renovations coming in the pretty near future. Outside where the field, outside the field house, excuse me, some renovations will be starting in the spring, and some beautification of the field house and some of that area out there. Also in the stadium this year, we were talking before about the first time in 50 years that we'll have a new band director. So that'll be fun and interesting thing just to see. And we obviously wish Mike well and the new band director well.
Yeah, it'll be great to hear from him and the band, and you can hear that 1 week from tomorrow here at Camp Randall. But the Badgers, of course, kick off their season tonight down in Tampa. Kickoff at 6 o'clock. You can watch the game on ESPN, and then be sure to catch the highlights. News 3 Now at 10.
Love the Badger gear. Thank you, Christina.
All right, 6:35 is your time right now. Coming up in the morning sprint, we'll have a look at what's ahead for the Brewers as their season is coming to a close.
And if you're looking for something to do this weekend, stick around. The Weekend 608 is up next on News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back at 6:39. We've been asking you to share your morning with us, and Denise sent us this picture of the Stoughton sunrise. Look at that shot right there.
Oh, gorgeous. And the one this morning looks gorgeous as well.
We've been really fortunate with some great sunrise shots lately, so keep those coming. Thank you so much for sharing, Denise. If you've got a photo you'd like to share with us, all you have to do is send it to us over on our Facebook page.
It is Labor Day weekend here in the 608, and if you're looking for something fun to do on the holiday weekend, here are a few ideas.
Every year since 1983, Taste of Madison has drawn tens of thousands of food lovers to the Capitol Square to sample the offerings of local restaurants. This weekend, more than 80 establishments and another 24 beverage stands will be on hand. And with each small plate costing $5 or less, you can afford to sample several vendors' food and feed the entire family affordably.
This is one you can file under only in Wisconsin. It's the 45th annual Cow Chip Throwing Festival, and it starts in Prairie du Sac today. 40,000 people are expected to go and watch people throw dried cow manure as far as they can. Now, each year the festival goes through as many as 400 cow chips. And if tossing a cow chip is more of a number two, on your things to do this festival season. You can check out other things like music, a volleyball tournament, and other family-friendly activities. The event starts at 5 with the first toss set at 5:30. The festival continues into tomorrow.
And back at the Majestic tomorrow night is the 3rd annual Respect, a celebration of women and music. That's where a baker's dozen female vocalists will bring to life on one stage some of the most iconic women artists in American music. It'll include songs by Beyonce, Brandi Carlile, Ella Fitzgerald, and Amy Winehouse, among others. If you are headed out of town today, be sure to use extra caution on the roads this holiday weekend. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation says the busiest time on the roads will be between noon and 8 in the evening, especially today and Monday. Fortunately, all road construction projects will be on hold for the Labor Day weekend. Construction projects will resume Tuesday morning at 6.
Hattie is keeping her eye on the Labor Day weekend forecast. It includes some sun, but also a chance for some rain and cooler conditions. She'll have more in her extended forecast just ahead.
But first, it is August 30th, and we want to say happy birthday to Wesson and Nora and all the other kids turning 3 today. Thanks for starting your day and celebrating early with us on News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back. We're taking a live look at Cocoa Beach, Florida, where Hurricane Dorian is expected to make landfall in just a few days.
Kind of the calm before the storm there. Kind of an eerie look there. Cocoa Beach, I know, very popular destinations for a lot of families. Hattie, a lot A lot is going to be happening there in the coming days.
Yeah, and it's a holiday weekend, so definitely need to pay close attention to that forecast. In fact, let's start with Dorian this morning. Hurricane Dorian, a Category 2 storm. As expected, it has intensified over the last 24 hours. It's moving now over very warm Atlantic Ocean waters, about 85 degrees. So that is going to fuel this storm and allow it to intensify even more. Right now, it has winds of 105 miles an hour, but it is expected to intensify. And there's pretty good confidence that the storm will make a turn towards the west over the next couple of days and impact Florida and the southeastern corner of the United States. Some of those forecasts take it all the way through the panhandle of Florida into the mid-Atlantic states as we head through next week. So again, bears watching closely. Here is the official forecast for this storm. Again, expected to intensify over the next couple of days. By early Sunday morning, a Category 4 hurricane. That's a major hurricane, winds up to around 130 miles an hour. It then takes aim on Florida, and by Monday, sometime on Monday, is expected to make landfall as a Category 4 storm. Still, many things could happen though, so this cone of uncertainty is still quite wide as it approaches Florida. Then the storm weakens as it passes over land, but it may turn northward and hug the coastline for several days into next week. So that's what it looks like for Florida. By contrast here, a much nicer start to the day. We've had mostly sunny skies. A couple of pictures emailed in early this morning of that beautiful sunrise. This first one out of Sauk County, thanks to Leanne for sending that one in. And the second one out of Dodgeville, great pinks and oranges in the skies this morning. So thank you to Susan for sending in that photo. Just a beautiful sunrise early this morning. No rain on the radar map early today. All of the rain is to our south, and it will ride along the front away from us today. So look for a dry forecast. Temperatures are starting in the 40s and 50s. Some of the colder spots, Camp Douglas 47, Boscobel is at 48. We're at 53 here in Madison. Watertown now dropping though to 48 degrees. Your Future Track forecast model calls for abundant sunshine today. Unlike the last couple of days, it's a northwesterly wind and it will be much lighter as we go through the day today. So put this map into motion. By lunchtime today, with a light north wind and sunshine, temperatures will be in the upper 60s. We'll top in the 70s. A few high-level clouds here and there, especially south of Madison, but a very pleasant day. If you have plans this evening, looks very comfortable. Temperatures will drop back into the low 60s by about 11 or 12 o'clock tonight. Overnight lows will be in the 50s once again. Kind of a cool start to the holiday weekend here with highs only in the upper 60s on Saturday. A few showers will be possible, but on Sunday and Monday it gets a little warmer with more sunshine in the forecast. Take a look at this pet walk photo. Sky in Madison. What a happy dog.
Sky
What a perfect name.
Yes, a gorgeous sky, gorgeous sunrise, and Sky is ready for Labor Day weekend.
I think so.
We. Thank you so much,
You're
Hattie.
welcome.
Stay with us for the morning sprint, but first, here's Tony DeCopo with what's ahead at the top of the hour. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS this morning, we're also tracking the latest on Hurricane Dorian, plus a new look at technology schools are using to combat teen vaping in the wake of our exclusive interview with the Juul CEO. We'll tell you why some students think it will not deter their peers. And the groundbreaking way scientists are creating meat, quote, meat, without harming animals. They say it's true. We'll see you at 7.
Welcome back at 6:51. Time for the morning sprint as our team gives you the most local news every morning.
We start this morning in Madison, where the executive director of Madison School and Community Recreation is on leave this morning after being arrested. 44-year-old Jacob Tissue was booked into the Dane County Jail last night and is facing multiple charges for possessing child pornography. A spokesperson for the Madison Metropolitan School District said they put Tissue on leave as soon as they learned about the arrest. Tissue will remain on leave until the outcome of that process.
The McFarland teacher arrested earlier this week won't be allowed back into the village for at least 4 weeks. Andrew Meeks hasn't been formally charged, but a judge did order him to be under GPS monitoring to ensure he doesn't return to McFarland. Meeks was arrested Tuesday on tentative charges of child enticement and causing mental harm to a child. He'll be back in court September 26th.
A Lake Delton man is facing multiple charges this morning, including abducting a child. Lake Delton police arrested 22-year-old James Sellers yesterday following months of investigations. Sellers allegedly broke into a home in his neighborhood and took a 2-year-old from her bedroom. Police say Sellers left the child outside of the home and took off, and that motive is still unclear.
There will be a visitation today for the Fitchburg teenager killed earlier this week. The visitation for Shay Watson will be from 4 until 7 this evening at Gunderson Fitchburg Funeral and Cremation Care. Another visitation will be held tomorrow before a celebration of life ceremony at 2:30 at the same location. Watson was shot to death in his home on Sunday night. Police have not arrested any suspects and aren't sharing any information.
We've had just a few high-level clouds across southern Wisconsin this morning. You can see those on Weather Track. No rain falling from any of those clouds, though. Our forecast is dry today. Temperatures will climb from the 50s to highs in the mid-70s this afternoon. Just a light northerly wind expected.
Thank you, Hattie. A year after historic flooding in Sauk County, a new bill will try to make it easier to apply for disaster relief. It would require all cities to sign up for a program that helps train them to get money from FEMA. The bill has bipartisan support.
Hurricane Dorian is expected to make landfall in the U.S. on Monday as a powerful Category 4 hurricane. Forecasters say Dorian's winds could top 100 miles an hour when it comes ashore, anywhere from South Georgia to the South Florida. Now, President Trump canceled his weekend trip to Poland ahead of Dorian's arrival.
A report from the Justice Department Inspector General says former FBI Director James Comey violated FBI policies by sharing memos detailing his private conversations with President Donald Trump. Comey was investigated for the memos he wrote about his interactions with the president after the 2016 election. The Justice Department says it will not prosecute Comey.
You can now sign up for free overdose and Narcan training. Public Health Madison and Sunshine Place are teaming up to offer this free training as a way to fight the drug epidemic. Officials say the number of overdose deaths could be drastically reduced if more people were familiar with how to spot an overdose. Information on how to sign up for free public training can be found on channel3000.com.
State health officials say THC vaping products were involved in most cases where people developed severe lung diseases after vaping. Of the 27 people DHS interviewed, nearly 90% reported they had used vaping devices to inhale THC before they got sick. But health officials say they're still investigating all possible causes.
When your student heads back to school at UW-Madison, they might notice some changes to campus bathrooms. The UW is implementing a new policy creating more gender-inclusive restrooms. This new gender-inclusive restroom policy requires a minimum number of these bathrooms to be provided in UW buildings, at least one on the first floor, and if possible, one on every floor.
The Badgers will kick off their 2019 football season tonight in Tampa at 6 o'clock, and then next Saturday they'll be out here at Camp Randall for their first home game of the season. And it's set to be a very exciting year for the Badgers. After a disappointing 8-5 finish last season, the Badgers are ranked 19th in the AP's top 25 poll heading into this season. You can watch tonight's game at 6 o'clock on ESPN, and then 1 week from tomorrow, the Badgers will be here at Camp Randall against Central Michigan for their first home game.
Thank you, Christina. The Packers preseason is over. In last night's final preseason game, Packers linebacker Ty Summers stood out with an interception, taking it 74 yards for the touchdown. Mason Crosby missed the extra point. Final score from last night's game, Packers 27, Chiefs 20. Now we are less than a week away. The Packers go to Chicago to play the Bears in the regular season opener at Soldier Field next Thursday.
Meanwhile, the Brewers are heading into an important weekend series against the Chicago Cubs as they try to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. The Cubs are now 4 games ahead of the Brewers for the final wild card spot. But the Brewers have a chance to make up some ground over the next week with 7 of their next 9 games coming against the Cubs. First pitch at Wrigley is at 1:20 this afternoon.
And it is 6:56. Let's turn it over to Josh Tim with a look at your first alert traffic.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Still nothing to slow you down on the Beltline. Things are moving well so far with no major issues. Starting to see a few brake lights on the inbound side of John Nolan near Rimrock, and then again at Olin Avenue, making your way into the downtown Madison area. Corona Road tapping the brakes northbound between Highway PD and the Beltline. And other main routes heading into Madison, they're cruising along at the usual speeds with no major crashes or delays. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you, Josh. And Hattie, looks pretty gorgeous out there.
It is a nice start to the holiday weekend. If you're getting an early start today, the weather looks perfect. We have a few clouds moving through the area this morning. Lots of sunshine, though, expected today. Temperatures will climb from the 50s this morning back to highs in the mid-70s with light winds and low humidity. A warming trend is expected through the holiday weekend.
All right, thanks, Hattie, and thanks for joining us. Make it a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday morning. Stay safe.